Yeah, man.
What a guan! I am Mikel Marvin Samuels. Watch me cook chicken curry stew, aka curried chicken. Get 1.5 between 2 pounds chicken's parts, 3 teaspoons or 4 teaspoons curry powder, 1.5 tablespoon parsley flakes or cilantro flakes, 1 teaspoon marjoram flakes, 1 tablespoon rosemary leaves. You could use fresh or dried herbs. 1 teaspoon tarragon leaves or flakes. Half teaspoon oregano flakes. 1/4 teaspoon sage powder. 2 small or 1 medium-sized onion. 1 or 2 stalks scallion. 8 garlic cloves. 2 cups water. 1/4 teaspoon dried pimento berries. To spruce the flavor, you could add 1 teaspoon between 1 tablespoon butter, 2 teaspoons salt. I am using sea salt. 1 teaspoon distilled white vinegar. 1/4 piece ginger with skin. Spring thyme the size of 1 finger. Or you could use French thyme instead. 2 tablespoons between 1/4 cup cooking oil. I am using palm oil. You could use coconut oil, vegetable oil, olive oil, etc. 1/4 or half ripening Scotch bonnet pepper. Get 2 limes, 1 or 2 whole cloves. For the recipe, visit JamaicanDinners.com, JamaicanCookings.com. Put 1 or 2 whole cloves on the plate. Put herbals 1 place. I am using this plate. Measure 1.5 tablespoon parsley or cilantro flakes and then put it on the plate. Measure 1 teaspoon marjoram flakes and then put it on the plate. Measure 1 tablespoon rosemary leaves and then put it on the plate. Measure 1 tablespoon tarragon leaves / flakes and then put it on the plate. Measure 1/4 teaspoon oregano flakes and then put it on the plate. Measure 1/4 teaspoon sage powder. Put it on the plate. Get a coffee grinder ready. Put 1 or 2 whole cloves into the coffee grinder. Put herbal flakes in the coffee grinder. Now grind the herbal flakes to herbal powder 40 seconds. If using fresh herbs, grind it separate. Put the fresh herbs on the dried herbal powder. Grind it for 40 seconds. Put herbal powder on the plate to one side. Measure 1/2 teaspoon dried pimento berries and then put it on the plate. Measure 2 teaspoons salt. Put it on the plate. I am using sea salt. If using fresh pepper, wash pepper. Put 1/2 ripening Scotch bonnet pepper on the plate. Prepare the vegetable seasonings for cooking. Pour some water into a bowl. Sprinkle several drops of distilled white vinegar in the water. You could use several pinches of salt instead. To preserve the scallion, I wash it ahead of time and then keep it in the freezer. If using fresh scallion, rip off dying leaves, chop root end and the tip of the leaf that's dying. Wash scallion now. Get a chopping board. I am using this chopping mat. Get a sharp knife ready. You could use a food scissors instead. Dice scallion fine. Put diced scallion on the plate. If using carrot, wash it now. If using sweet pepper, wash it and dice it now. Wash ginger now. Cut 1/4 piece ginger. Use your fingers. Rub the ginger's skin clean. Rinse it and then put it on the plate. Thyme on a whole should not be bigger than 1 or 2 fingers. Whatever you're cooking, use a small piece. Wash spring thyme. Use 2 French thyme leaves. Like spring thyme, don't use plenty. Don't use both. Put thyme on the plate. Peel garlic. If you see spoilage, trim it. Grind garlic to puree or use the same knife and mash it to pulp. Put mashed garlic on the plate. I like to chop the onion in half. It's easier to handle. Peel onion. Remove just the brown leaf. The first layer of the onion is the strongest. Dice onion. I like to slice the onion. Keep the seasonings on the plate separate. Put diced onions on the plate. Measure 2 cups water and have it near. You could dice quarter piece, bell / sweet pepper / paprika and use it as well. In natural cooking, I like to add the vegetables, spices and herbal seasonings twice. This is seasonings container number 1 and container number 2. Put half seasonings in each container. Put thyme into container number 2. Put dried pimento berries into container number 1. Put half herbal in each container. Put half salt in each container. Put quarter or half ripening Scotch bonnet pepper in container number 2. Put piece ginger in container 1. Put half diced scallion in each container. Put half diced onions in each container. Put half mashed garlic in each container. Measure 1 teaspoon distilled white vinegar and then put it in container number 2. Keep the vegetable seasonings in container number 1 separate. This is seasonings container number 2. Cover it. And this is seasonings container number 1. Cover it. Put seasonings aside. Go to the next step. Get a bowl that you use to season meat. Put chicken parts into the bowl. Use a sharp knife. Remove clot blood. Look on the chicken. Prepare and wash the meat clean for cooking. Ensure chicken is cleaned properly. If using thigh, pay special attention to the thigh. Go between the thigh. Trim excess fat. Remove anything that is not chicken, that is not chicken's flesh. If using chicken's breast, ensure chicken's feet is not on it. If using chicken's wing, clean it properly. Go between the bones. Remove clot blood. I like to use the knife to scrape the chicken's skin clean. Pour some water on the chicken. Drain the water. Sprinkle several drops of distilled white vinegar on the chicken. Pour some water on the chicken. Now use your hand with your fingers. Rub the vinegar on the chicken. Rub the chicken clean. And then pour fresh water on it. Drain this dirty chicken water. Cut 1 or 2 ripening or green limes. Squeeze lime juice on the chicken. You could use 1 between 2 tablespoons lime or lemon juice instead. Use your hand. Rub the lime juice on the chicken. And then rinse it. Drain the water. Put cleaned chicken into a colander. Allow it to drain excess water. If you are in a hurry, do like me. Put the cleaned chicken parts between your palms. Squeeze it to remove excess water. This is cleaned chicken's parts. Go to the next step. Get a chopping board that you use for meat only. I am using this red chopping mat. Get a sharp knife ready. Carving knife would be best. You could use a food scissors instead. Now, cut chicken chunks. Cut 1 1/2 between 2 inches, bone in chicken chunks. Chop chicken's leg in half. Leave the chicken's skin. Chop bone in chicken chunks like this. Quarter the size of your palm and fingers. Chop chicken's thigh 4 pieces. Chop chicken's breast in half. And then chop each piece in half. If it is necessary, chop that piece in half. Put chopped bone-in chicken chunks into the bowl. Chop chicken's wing 2 pieces. You could chop off the tip of the wing if that's what you want. Chop 1.5 between 2 inches bone-in chicken chunks. Put chopped bone-in chicken chunks in the bowl. This is chopped bone-in chicken chunks. Put this aside, go to the next step. If you want, you could marinate chicken. Rub all seasonings on the chicken. Keep it in the refrigerator at least 2 hours. 24 hours or overnight is best. To cook it, use a fork. Flick off vegetable seasonings. Divide it the same way. Follow me. You could start cooking now. Put a medium-sized saucepan to heat. Put the stove's gauge flame on 4 medium-low. If inside of the pan is wet, use a paper towel, dry it. Put seasonings number 1 near. Add piece ginger with skin. Burn curry. For now, add tablespoon curry powder in the pan / stew pot. Juke the piece ginger with a fork. You could use 1 garlic as well. Use it to rub curry powder on the pot's bottom. Stir the curry powder while it is burning. Burn curry powder for between 15 seconds. Do not allow the curry powder to get black. Some people add the cooking oil first and then add the curry powder to the cooking oil to burn it. Nevertheless, I like to burn the curry powder first. Immediately after that, pour cooking oil on the burning curry powder. I am using palm oil. You could use coconut oil, vegetable oil, olive oil, etc. Do a off the fire stir. Rotate pan with cooking oil in the burning curry powder fast. Do not allow the curry powder to get black. Immediately after that, put bone-in chicken chunks in the pan / stew pot. Allow the bone-in chicken chunks to cook in the curry a minute between 2 minutes. After a minute between 2 minutes, use a cooking fork. Flip bone-in chicken chunks on the other side. Measure 2 cups water and have it near. Allow it to fry a minute between 2 minutes. After time, add the seasonings from container number 1 in the pan. Use a cooking spoon, stir it few times. Immediately after that, pour water on the chicken in the pan. When cooking curried chicken in Jamaica, to know if you added enough curry powder, after you added the curry powder, use a cooking spoon, stir it, scoop the curry powder water. Look at it. If the color of the water is light yellow, you might need to add a little bit more curry. If the color of the water is bright yellow, this could be just right for some. If the color of the water is a dark yellow, you added too much curry. Don't worry, I am measuring it for you. Measure 1 teaspoon more curry powder and then add it in the water. 3 teaspoons is right. I like my curry sauce / gravy to be rich. I am adding a total of 4 teaspoons. Use a cooking spoon, stir it. Use the pan's lid. Cover pan properly, fully. The stove's gauge flame is on 4 medium-low. Allow. After 10 minutes stewing, this is the chicken curry stew. Use a cooking spoon. Stir it few times. 4 teaspoon curry powder is sufficient for me. This curry water is good for me. If you want it lighter, use 1 tablespoon, which is equivalent to 3 teaspoons. Use the pan's lid, cover it. The stove's gauge is on 4 medium-low. Allow. After 5 minutes more, totaling 15 minutes stewing, this is chicken curry stew, aka curried chicken. Now add seasonings from container 2 in the stew. Use a cooking spoon, stir it. Keep the piece pepper and the French thyme leaves on top. Use the pan's lid, cover it properly, cover it fully. The stove's gauge is still on 4 medium-low. Allow. After 5 minutes more, totaling 20 minutes. This is the chicken curry stew. Use a cooking spoon, stir it a few times, rotate the bottom to the top. Keep your eyes on the peace pepper. You could remove it now. Remove peace pepper. Remove French thyme leaves. Do not allow the French thyme leaf to mash out in the stew. The nutrients in the French thyme is in the stew. This curry chicken stew sauce / gravy looks good. Use the pan's lid. Cover it. The stove's gauge is on 4, medium low. Allow. After 5 minutes more, totaling 25 minutes, this curried chicken gravy is thickening. To spruce the flavor, add 1 teaspoon between 1 tablespoon of butter. Now, this sauce needs to thicken some more. Use the pan's lid, cover it. The stove's gauge is on 4, allow. After 5 minutes more, totaling 30 minutes, this is it. Use a cooking spoon, stir it. This curried chicken sauce stew looks good. Stir it few times. If using diced carrot, now would be a good time to add it. Add the diced carrot 5 minutes near the end. Use a pan's lid, cover it. The stove's gauge is on 4 medium low, allow. After 5 minutes more, totaling 35 minutes, stir it. This is the chicken curry stew, aka curried chicken. Use a cooking spoon, stir it. Use a pan's lid, cover it. The stove's gauge is on 4 medium low, allow. After 5 minutes more, totaling 40 minutes. When the stew starts sticking to the pot's bottom, that is a sign it is ready. Turn off stove's flame. Use the pan's lid, cover it until serving. To serve chicken curry stew, use a cooking spoon, moist up the meat. I am taking a scoop of this delicious, juicy looking chicken curry stew to put on a plate of rice. This is chicken curry stew, aka curried chicken. Visit JamaicanDinners.com, JamaicanCookings.com for the recipe. You should try cooking curried chicken this way. You will enjoy eating it. Subscribe, like, and share this video. Leave a comment. This is chicken curried stew, aka curried chicken. This chicken curry stew is juicy and delicious. The vegetable and natural spices and herbal seasonings made this chicken taste awesome. This meal is bursting with flavor. Chicken curry stew, aka curried chicken, is delicious with white rice. Or eat chicken curry stew with hard boiled starchy food or boiled dumplings. I love eating chicken curry stew with boiled flour and cornmeal dumplings. I do not like to add too less curry powder. To me, the flavor and the look of it is fresh. This is probably black curry. You know when the English people say black curry stew or dark curry stew? I think this is it. We in Jamaica are not accustomed to dark curry or black curry. Some might be, but I am not accustomed to black curry. This might be it. I'm not sure. You could use the same ingredients to cook 1.5 pound chicken. However, halfway stewing, you could turn the flame up on 6 high to speed up the process. Do not use less water. The stew might dry out before the sauce / gravy forms. Some people then add more water. You do not want to do that. If you have access to lighter looking curry powder, buy it instead. French thyme is a great substitute for springtime. For another dinner idea, add diced carrot at the end or 5 minutes at the end. For a third chicken curry stew idea, add diced Irish potato 5 to 8 minutes near the end. To preserve chicken curried stew, keep it in the refrigerator 3 or 4 days. Nevertheless, seal it properly, date it, label it, and freeze it for 6 months, maybe a year. Me gone. Until next time, walk good.